Yeah, it was awesome. It was great to see them. It was great to see them work throughout the week. It was fun to see them work. Had a pretty good idea that they were going to be able to do this today because of how they worked throughout the week, their mindset, how they focused when we got down here, how they stayed committed to the plan, the job the coaching staff did with those guys, and nobody wavered from the plan starting, throughout the course of the week.
George had his first 100-yard rushing game since the season opener of 2020. What did you see out of him out there tonight, and how different is the offense when he's in there?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously extremely talented in a lot of different ways. His vision, everybody talks about a running back's ability and, his quickness, his change of direction, his burst, his size, all that. But his vision is pretty elite, and his feel for how fronts are set, blocking schemes, and being able to find the weaknesses within the defense. And from there, he's extremely talented, and he's going to run behind his pads, and his second effort is, second to none.
Offense, defense, special teams. How much of a team win was this tonight?
Yeah, so a lot of times, we were just talking about how special teams, they just do their job and they don't get a lot of credit. Joel does a hell of a job punting the ball early on there and flips the field, and vice versa for us on our punt return team, we're able to create some great field position, getting the ball near the logo about 3 times or so, and we get pressure on the punter. We don't block it, but then he shanks one a little bit later, and now we're sitting on the logo to start. And those things, sometimes go unnoticed, but field position is everything in this game. The hidden yards is everything in this game. We covered a ton of kickoffs, and the guys flew down there all the way to the end and punished the returner. And that's what it should look like. That's the consistency it needs to be every time we get the opportunity to be on that field.
And that's, one of the best offenses in the country, and with the stats say it, the players say it. And for you guys to have three turnovers, a 4th down stop, hold them to 14 points. I mean, how dominant was your defense tonight?
Yeah, it was the 4th down stop early on in the game. That was an unbelievable play. And you know what? It was an awesome play by JL to come through there and fit that thing up with the physicality he did and not get the knockback he did and do it the right way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And so that attributes to him and his focus this week and how the things he's doing, the things the coaches are doing to help this team keep growing forward. And the defense did an unbelievable job tonight.
And this is maybe your best game in terms of rush defense as well. What did you guys do to shut Ronnie Rivers down?
Well, it always starts with how you play at the line of scrimmage, number one, with your mentality, and then you got to be able to have some fundamentals and techniques to win one-on-ones at the line of scrimmage. And the guys, Coach Frank and Coach Miley and the crew, they've been working really hard. Coach Collins with the edge players, and it's been a huge emphasis. And we've gotten nothing but a bunch of questions about it for the last month and through all the bye week. And all we can do is keep working to get better and using these opportunities in the games to show how we're growing. And we're going to have another challenge next week. Wyoming always does a tremendous job running the ball.
What was the most enjoyable aspect of tonight's win?
How the guys stayed together and how persistent. At times there, things we go for it on 4th down. We didn't do a good job. Even with our own operation, on that situation, we get stuffed, and the guys' mentality didn't even waver. It didn't. And that was the best part to see right there, is that when something didn't go our way, it didn't faze them. And that's the way it's got to be. And that's what this game requires. And we'll use that as a learning example in many different ways, for us as coaches, for the players, the good and the bad that goes along with that.
I know we talked about the Canillo brothers and how cool that was, but I guess you guys are looking it up, and so far only one other time in college football history have we found 2 brothers both having picks in the same game.
Oh, really?
To have both those guys get a pick like that, how cool is that?
Yeah, no, that's unbelievable. And now I was standing right behind Kekala on his interception, and the coverage we were playing, I can see his eye progression. And that dude is such a stud, because that wide receiver, he telegraphed the route, and Kekala played it unbelievable. And that was such a big play to start the game, because that concept that they try to run there, if we don't stop that there, we're going to get it a bunch more times in the game. They're going at Nohe, taking those easy 5-yard throws. It's single width on that side, and he's out there on an island by himself. And the way he was playing it, we asked him to compete a little bit better. They kept taking it, chunking away. They weren't getting the run yards. So what was that becoming? Those 5 yards, 6 yards were becoming their run yards. And so we had to find a way to play that better on the outside and and we challenged him to compete better against those guys. Not only did he do that, he came up, had some great tackles, and then he intercepted a ball. That's what competitors do. They respond, and it was awesome.
We talked about, again, getting back to like the little things and how those stacked up against you at one point in time. And now, we watch you guys play, and it just seems so obvious of maybe what you were missing at some point in time, whether it be, injuries, execution, preparation. How much did it all come together for you and your grand vision for this program tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was, that's what we're building. And it's going to take a lot of work. It's not done yet. This isn't us going to be next week. It's not just going to be us the following week. It's not just, it takes time to do this over and over. It takes time to commit yourself to doing this each and every single day. And when we talk about reestablishing the foundation, that's what we're talking about. And how we commit ourselves to this program, playing for this program being bigger than ourselves, and to be a part of something that's bigger than you. And the guys have done that in the last 3 weeks, the focus of the team, the commitment from each individual. And again, not just the players, but everybody in the building, the trainers, the equipment guys, obviously the coaches, and how physical and for the most part, how disciplined the team was tonight. We got to keep building on that.
I might go out on a limb here a little bit with this question. So I know it's not totally, not a bad thing, but it's not totally uncommon. But the lateral from Bachmeyer to Shakir, was that kind of a ode to what Kellen Moore performed in that Cowboys game over the weekend? Did you guys look at that and say, hey, let's give it a try?
Well, we did it last week. I mean, we did it last week similar to that. I was more worried that we just did it and it was too early to do it again. But yeah, I told Shaq, I'm like, sorry, bud, I love you, but you can't throw like Ced Wilson. And Ced Wilson was a quarterback prior to. Shaq did play some quarterback in high school, but he was a Wildcat quarterback. So Ced's play, we did see that the other night. That was awesome. What they dialed up with Kellen. And yeah, it was there was a lot of things in the plan for Shaq tonight. That was one of them. And it's being able to get him the ball in as many ways as possible, make sure, number one, he gets his touches, we're moving him around, as well as a few other guys, that have shown to be extremely productive when they get the ball in their hands. But ultimately, it comes down to all the guys around them as well. The O-line's got to do their job. And, everybody wants to talk about, the guys that run for all the yards and catch all the balls and throw all the balls. But bottom line is that O-line is our team. That's the mentality of our team. We needed them huge tonight, and they came through. I believe, how many did we give up? One sack? How many sacks?
There was one on Jalen and then one on Hank.
Yep. So Taylor, one on Taylor. So we gave up 2 sacks. I think we had how many? 5?
Season high
5. We had 5 sacks, right? So that was the big deal for the O-line, not only in the run game, but to protect our quarterback. And they did an unbelievable job with that tonight. And, that's 2 weeks in a row. We can't stop there. We got to, again, they are the mentality of our team, both our fronts.